Good afternoon. This is Dr. Saul Goldstein. The opinions expressed by these two, fellows, colored folks, may or may not be the opinions of their employers or mine. Holler at me.
Top, they want top, they love top, they want top, they love top.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
It's been a minute, but we back. It's Chop Soccer. We here. Some big news in MLS, man. Montreal had a pretty damn good year last year. Has some quality players, but it looks like they're exploding shit over there and about to reset the program. The biggest news, I would say second biggest news, because the first one would be Ishmael Kone is moving to Watford. But then second is head coach Wilfried Nancy has been hired away by the Columbus Crew, and Caleb Porter is out yet again in MLS. What are your thoughts on this, man? Is Montreal going to hit rock bottom? Is he going to turn it around in season 1 in Columbus? Let me know.
I don't know. I'll start with the second question first, and then I'd be interested to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to turn it around immediately, but I think, year 2 or year 3 is going to be like when he really starts to make some noise, because he was at Montreal for like 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then like that second season was when he led them to like their club like record for like
Mhm.
points. I think it was like 65 or something. And then like Montreal was in the second. They were second in the East. And then they had
Mhm.
like, I guess it was a decent run. They won their first game and then they lost their second game. Is that right? In the
The playoffs?
MLS playoffs? Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to NYCFC.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's going to take him. I think it's going to take him a year to like, kind of get the roster where he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's a good coach, and I think he's going to do a lot better. I don't want to say a lot better at Columbus than he was like doing at Montreal, because like in his second season, he did a really good job at Montreal with that roster they put together and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like, in 2 to 3 years, like Columbus is going to be a real force to like, compete for an MLS Cup again. And I think that's going to just be down to him. And then I guess first question, like what's going on with Caleb Porter? Like I don't know, bro. Like I mean, like like I feel like some coaches are like open box specials. Like when you go to Best Buy or something
Mm-hmm.
and you got like the shiny
That's my
TV.
shit.
Yeah. You got like the shiny TV on the wall and you'd be like, I don't know if I want to pay that much for it. And they'd be like, well, we got this one that somebody returned. Like, the box is open on it. Like, it's slightly cheaper.
250 less.
Yeah, 250 less. I just think a lot of coaches in MLS are kind of like open box specials like that, and like are just kind of bouncing around from job to job based on like some type of history that they have,
Mm-hmm.
like whether in the league or like having a good season here or there. I mean, Greg Berhalter kind of like fits that bill, and he like parlayed that into the U.S. men's national team job. But like I think it's really good to see like good coaches like you know taking over traditional like franchises.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to like Montreal, but they're not really a traditional franchise. Like
Yeah,
Columbus
not at all.
Crew is a traditional franchise, so like I think he's going to do way better than Caleb Porter was doing here.
Yeah, man. It's tough to see it go down that way for Caleb Porter, because he was a good coach. But sometimes in MLS, you just have these coaches that are also propped up by having a good sporting director and GM. Um, and it doesn't work after that. That whatever chemistry they had at that club is broken and it just doesn't work out the same. Doesn't mean he's a bad coach, but for where the league is trying to go, I think Caleb Porter and other coaches like him are kind of aging out of where MLS is headed, and they're gonna phase out entirely in the next probably 3 to 5 seasons, because the league is like year over year. Like, these clubs are not playing around. Like, every
Yeah.
time some other club comes up and wins the MLS Cup, they're like, all right, look at this roster build. They had, full DP slots. They had, players under 27. They had, two MLS veterans and da da da. And everybody's looking at those builds and said, these guys are winning. They have this type of coach and they're getting it done. How do we get one? So, yeah, I feel for Caleb Porter because I think he is a good manager, but he's definitely going to have to start looking outside of MLS soon, if not right now. Um, and Wilfried Nancy, I agree. I think he'll turn it around in the season after this upcoming season. Because, like you said, he's going to need to bring in some of the players that he wants specifically and get the system in place, re-educate on what he's trying to do, and then go out there and win some damn points. So we'll see what happens. I wish him the best. I'm gonna miss him in Montreal though. I think that was a beautiful matchup, with the French speaking and all that stuff. I just think Montreal is cool for that because they truly can build a one-off experience for MLS that nobody else can compete with because of the language. So, losing him, it'll be interesting to see who they bring in next and what he does in Columbus. But more power to the black man.
Yeah, more power to the black man. I think one thing I will say about Caleb Porter is like, yeah, I don't think he's a bad coach, but like you said, like, he was being propped up by like good franchises.
Hmm.
And like, even being at two good franchises, he only has a career winning percentage. Like, I just looked it up. He only has a career winning percentage of like 40%.
Ouch. That's not very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I mean, he does have two MLS Cups though.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you were at the Portland Timbers and the Columbus Crew and you only have a career winning percentage of like 40%, it's like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah. Thank you for checking out Chop Soccer Pod Short Corners. For more, check us out on Twitter @Chop Soccer Pod and Instagram @Chop Soccer Pod. You know the vibes.